on summer's evening, standing on the mound. The ballpark's full of cheering crowd. Home team's back in town with all pitches.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Painting Corners Baseball Podcast. Co-host Johnny C, joined by Aiden Smith. You know the deal. Blockbusters, deadline is done. Dalton Varsho's an Astro. Arrigetti's off to Toronto. And Toronto's kind of a seller. Adley Rutchman, the most interesting trade of the day for me, going to the Sox. And who would have seen it coming? But Tarik Skubal is off to the Dodgers. And the Rays are buyers. Luis Arraez went to the Phillies. We got a lot to talk about. I'm excited to get into it. Aiden, how's your week been and how are you feeling about this deadline?
Been good. I've been tracking the deadline pretty closely. The Yankees got Elio Ramos, Luis Garcia Jr., so they made some big moves. Mariners went out and got Taylor Ward.
Yep.
Guard Dogs got Joe Adele. So there's a few teams moving in on the bats. And then obviously got the Dodgers picking up Tarik, which is what everyone's talking about. And it's interesting. I mean, the Red Sox gave up, I would argue, like decent amount more for a year plus of Adley than the Dodgers gave up for 2 months plus postseason of Tarik, which, maybe they should pay a little more, but I don't know. It seems like the Red Sox paid a decent amount more with Anthony Ason and then Kyson, Azokar. There's also 4 years of Carlos Narvaez in there, the catcher. So
Wow.
Baltimore gets that replacement backstop there for Adley. So interesting deal. I mean, what did you think about Adley to Boston?
I think Adley had his moment early on in his career where it's like Mike Elias is really doing the rebuild. We're excited to see what happens. And Adley, for me, was the corner of that, the cornerstone. Switch hitting catcher, just a good-looking dude. You love to see it, and his dad's throwing to him in the home run derby a couple years ago. There was a moment there. And I think we've seen him settle into an offensive regression back to sort of what his career average might look like. But his defense still rocks, and he's a guy you can build a franchise around for a catcher. Maybe like a Veritek sort of figure, where he could really hold it down and give you a nice steady vibe behind the dish. Maybe that's what the Red Sox and Breslow wanted,
Yeah, it could be. I mean, the catcher position has been a black hole of offense for a while now in Boston. Connor Wong and Narvaez just were not getting it done. So I think Adley will bring some nice energy and some nice thump to that lineup. And, I mean, the Red Sox were completely out of the race, and they went from being down several games to now being in the thick of the playoff hunt.
Yeah. Right.
So it's pretty cool to see one of the hottest streaks in franchise history, and hopefully Adley can just add to that. But pretty cool to see him shipping off to Boston.
Nice, there it is. Love to see that. Yeah, catcher for the Red Sox was pretty much the defense against the dark arts position at Hogwarts until Adley Rutchman filled the spot. So hopefully he doesn't Gilderoy Lockhart himself out of here. But the Sox, I'm not super worried about the price they paid. You gotta get something done, right? Got to get something done. Why not get a good catcher in Adley? Yes, you get a little extra control. That's fine. But your studs are up, man. Like, we talk about everything in seasons. We talk about things in windows. And the Red Sox had their youthful window where a lot of guys that can hit are up. Sure, Roman's injured right now. Cedon is killing it. Hit that grand slam the other night. I think that there's a lot of youth going on right now for the Red Sox, and they're cashing in some surplus for pieces that you want to cash in for, like a solid catcher like Adley Rutchman. And Lord knows they can afford him for an extension. So once Crochet's healthy too, it's like, I don't know, maybe are we starting to see something stirring in the AL East? While one star rises, another sets in Toronto. Why is Toronto a seller and Gossman's getting off the plane? Tearful goodbyes to Varsho and Springer. A lot of weird stuff going on, but then the Yankees and the Rays are also making a bid for the AL East. So it just always is what it is.
that is a good question, Johnny, as far as the shift in the sea change in the AL East, because Toronto really was supposed to be a force this year, coming off of that
Right.
devastating Game 7 loss. But I got to tell you, when you have a loss like that and you go toe to toe and you just wear each other out, it seems like whoever loses that game, the next couple years just end up being rough. And I can't put my finger on it,
That's
but
interesting.
yeah.
It's like the close game is actually the furthest apart because there's this sense of
Mm.
futility added to it. Where if it was a blowout in that
Yeah.
final game, where one pitcher had a bad game and they got hit up, you can chalk it up to a bad outing. But the
Mm.
fact that it was so close and Miggy Rojas is the guy, the soon sunsetting career, the riding off into the sunset Miggy Rojas, he's the guy that beats you. Against your Jeff
Yeah.
Hoffman closer. There's something about that closeness that is really the death blow, the futility of why even try this again? How are we ever going to get there?
Well, I have to say I like the idea of Hoff getting a fresh start in Minnesota,
Yeah,
and Toronto being able to move on, and not having to think about Miggy's bomb every time Jeff trots out there. Uh,
good for
you
him too,
know,
right?
well, that's what I'm saying, right? For him to get a fresh start,
Right.
because that's hanging over his head, but he's had a very successful career. I think he's got like a 4.2 ERA in Toronto over the last couple of years. So he could bounce back. I mean, he might be a change of scenery candidate, 98th percentile in K, whiff, and chase. So he's got those numbers, right? It's not like there's no promise there. He reminds me a little bit of a comp there with Ryan Zefferjon, who just got traded as well today, and he's got that swing and miss ability. Maybe the walks are a little high. Sometimes he's hit a little hard, but if he can put it together, I mean, if he gets hot and he can throw strikes consistently, I could see a guy like Zefferjon or Hoff just dominating for a team in the playoffs.
Absolutely. That's where the stories are is guys
Mm,
that just get traded at the deadline. They go to a pitching lab. The person I have my eye on is the one guy the Rockies dealt, Antonio Senzatella. He
yeah,
was
Senzatella.
he had a really nice sense of touch with the baseball up in Mile High and not getting too knocked around as a end of game guy, not quite a closer. I think he had some spot saves, spot
Well, and
closing.
he's a converted guy. He was a starter, and he's in his mid 30s.
Oh,
This is his
nice.
first year in the bullpen, so.
Well, beware the converts. But he seems to be doing
Mm,
really well, and going to the
yeah.
pitching lab of the Brewers is just going to make that even better, especially in the playoff light. He'll one thing or another. Antonio is going to be growing up a lot, I think, this season, especially in fall.
So he's a little younger than I thought. He's 32 in January.
Yeah.
I was thinking he was like 33, but anyway, he's been around for a while. But 3.36 FIP, 1.299 WHIP, 3.61 ERA.
Yep.
Solid. Coors Field 3.6 ERA is a little different than a 3.6 ERA at Petco, right?
Totally got to weight it. That's absolutely right. I
Yeah.
think that's correct and fair. Let's talk disappointments of the day. I think for
Mm.
me, uh, the Rays getting Peralta is um, what did they give up again? Because Peralta could be a huge W. It's the Rays. How often are we talking about the Rays at the trade deadline? Not a lot, right? They kind of pride themselves on just doing a backroom Phil Matan deal, and then you're left going like, should we miss him? Are they going to do something crazy now? Is Phil Matan going to win the Cy Young somehow? Well, I have the same thoughts with the Freddie Peralta, especially when he has been an All-Star and is Freddie Peralta. The Mets couldn't figure him out, probably made him worse. The pressure of Flushing Queens, we get it. But what did they have to give up to go get him? Was that worth it for them?
You know,
Especially being a
your
rental?
so your number 15, Aiden Smith, who actually was traded from the Mariners originally,
Hmm.
my namesake, and then 26 and 27 in the system. So your number 15 guy, obviously, is your headliner. It seems like Aiden Smith has stalled a little bit in the trajectory since being dealt from Seattle. He's been good enough, But actually Hopkins, who is the other guy in that trade, has ascended more, I would argue. So I think Aiden Smith could still be an everyday player. So it's a nice get for the Mets, honestly. I mean, for what Freddie's been this year,
Yeah,
Peralta has been bad. I mean,
yeah,
really.
yeah.
Yeah, I think what over half of his starts he's given up 3 or 4 runs. Man, I'd have to go back and look, but I feel like the quality starts just haven't been there.
Right. Yeah, it seems like a minimal loss for the game that they needed. Where I really wanted to
Yeah.
go was Dalton Varsho. I think that's the worst deal of the day.
Okay.
Um, not much
Wait,
of a
wait,
hot.
wait.
Go ahead.
Worst deal for who?
The Astros. I think it's a bad move.
Oh, really?
I do.
Oh, all right. Let's hear it.
So Dalton Varsho is 30 years old, right? He's a short king, 5'8", 30 years old, and he is a free agent next season. So first off, you're getting a 30-year-old rental. You're
Hmm.
getting him at center field, and he's hitting 243 with 7 home runs and a 682 OPS. Last year he batted 238, and the year before that 214. He's never hit more than 20 home runs. So ostensibly, Dana Brown says, "I want to get a left-handed outfield bat." Check, check, check. Great,
Premium defender.
sure. But here's the thing: you had Jake Myers, a premium defender in terms of outs above average, should be a Gold Glove contender in center field, and he's gonna, on a good year, he could hit you around like 12 to 20 bombs, bat about the same, and rock a similar OPS to Varsho. I mean, last year he almost broke out to a 300 batting average. If you look at Varsho's numbers on Baseball Savant, they're atrocious. And to give up Arrighetti, who, though struggling of late, keep in mind when he was coming up, he was one of the best pitchers in the MLB earlier in the season for several starts in a row. He can really spin it, a lot of team control. And when Tetsuya Imai just got moved to the bullpen and he failed on that test, you failed on the Mike Burrows acquisition test. You're really looking for starting pitching. Couple Tommy John replacements, guys coming back from TJ coming up, that some question marks there with Wesneski and Blanco and Javier. Javier's already getting beaten up tonight. To trade away starting pitching is just to get something done to say you got something done. It seems a little desperate to me, especially for a guy like Varsho, where it's a rental who's not really hitting the ball well.
So is this 3D chess by Dana? I mean, walk me through the thought process here.
Yeah, I think generously what I would say is it's 3D chess, that in his mind, maybe for the headline, it's like, I get a premium center fielder, great. I also get a guy who historically has been a home run capable guy. That's what he was talked about in Arizona where he started, coming over to the Jays. So I get that. I get a lefty bat who I can bat middle of the order. Maybe he gets some better protection. Vlad
Mhm.
wasn't doing it this year in Toronto, so that's maybe how Dana wants to sell it generously, and I can get on board with that. And Arrighetti had been ailing of late, spins the ball a lot, and maybe there's some elbow damage coming that we haven't seen there because of that pitch style. Okay, well, if it's not 3D chess though, it's he and Joe Espada are lame ducks, and they are fighting for their lives right now to keep their jobs. They're not signed up for long-term deals as general manager and manager respectively, so this is a last-ditch effort to do something because, again, keep in mind, if you're a lame duck and you're a GM, the deadline comes, you're all, like, doing nothing is worse than doing anything. That's just how it looks. You have to do something to seem like you're capable, and it's better to give the illusion of playing chess than playing no chess at all, whether it's 3D or checkers. So I think it's a checkers move, a little bit of desperation, but I'm happy to eat my words when Dalton starts hitting 30 bombs now in this last couple months of the year.
It is interesting though, isn't it? I mean, the Astros are last in baseball in walks. So they
Yep.
walk more hitters than anyone in the game, actually by a pretty good amount. I mean,
Yep.
uh 4.2 per nine is the Angels at 29. Houston sits at 4.59.
Wow.
That's a 39-point delta uh, for the walks there. And they're 28th in starting pitching ERA, right? So, and these are all starter numbers. So
Yep.
your starters are walking more than anyone, and they're getting hit pretty hard as well. I mean, 1.41 homers per nine. So it is a little puzzling to trade from that unit, isn't it? When that
Absolutely.
unit has been porous.
Absolutely. Now, if you butter knife slice it and you take out Tetsuya Imai and Mike Burrow starts, I wonder how
Can
well
you
we're
do
doing.
that though?
You can't really do that. But, for a team that's been playing very well as of late and the vibes have been so high, I just feel that this stinks more of a lame duck decision, getting a rental of a questionable bat with a high price tag that it doesn't strike me as wisdom. That's like let's let's think about the long term. Let's think about the off season and keep trying to free up salary. It sort of feels like desperation moves to do something, do anything to make a headline. But I'm hopefully going to be wrong, at least for the Astros fans out there. But anyway, that's kind of my worst deal of the day. I think the best one really is Adley to the Sox because you lock in this corner piece, the centerpiece at the vertex of the baseball diamond to guide the team and the staff. Tarik Skubal obviously is fantastic. It's going to win you a World Series 9 times out of 10. But surprising, sneaky, cool ones is Brooks Raley and Luis Arraez to the Phillies. I think they are making a concerted effort at a playoff push. Harper having his little renaissance. Schwarber still hitting bombs as a leadoff guy. I mean, it's got to be great to get a natural hitter like Luis Arraez out of the Bay.
So on the Adley topic, one thing that I really like, and you mentioned Tech, is the switch hitting catcher.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of leadership ability in there.
Yep.
He's Oregon State graduate. He's a Beaver, and those Beavers, they tend to be good clubhouse guys. I feel,
Yep. I think
so.
that's the victory there. It's like getting Veritek Part 2, and there's a lot of upside to love with his bat. Adley has shown he's a hitter. He's a hitting
I mean,
catcher. But
115 OPS plus as a catcher is very strong. And actually, his 162 game average is 4.7 B WAR. That's very good,
yeah,
right?
that
I
is
mean,
correct.
he's averaging an all-star season. The big thing is, can he stay healthy? I know last year wasn't his best season, but that was the only year where he was sub 700 OPS. And I mean, if you look back at his first 2 years in the league, he was over 800 OPS back-to-back seasons. So if he can just stay healthy and get back to that point, get into a rhythm, a little bit of protection in the lineup too.
Right.
I mean, Baltimore's had some weak lineups over the years. I mean, this year not so bad. You added Pete Alonso and things like that, but I think he'll have more protection actually in the Boston lineup with the way those guys are hitting right now.
I agree. Do you know when Anthony comes back?
Roman?
Yeah.
I think he's still a ways out. I also know that it was a little bit opaque for a while. Let's see. Is
Is
he
there any hope?
rehabbing yet?
I guess that my question is there any hope for Roman and Crochet to both get back this year for the playoffs?
So I'd say yes. I mean, I got the feeling, and I'm reading subtext here, that Crochet was more of a are we in it for this season or not? And now that it's established that the Sox caught that jet stream and they're clearly in the race, I think
Yeah,
Crochet will be there.
that's
Uh,
good.
with Roman, they're talking about him swinging a bat again. So he already is swinging a bat again. But to me, I mean, if you're just swinging a bat now, just trying to project this out, right? What does that
Sure.
mean? You're a month out? I mean, does that mean you're playing at the highest level in September?
Yeah, I
You're
think it
kind of
does. Yeah, I think it does.
you're trying to figure out, okay, so when is he doing the rehab in high A and all that jazz, right? I mean, you don't go from swinging the bat to hitting third,
Yeah,
you know.
swinging a bat's like one step above running the bases.
Yeah, yeah. So to me, that means we're still a ways out,
Yeah,
particularly since it's a finger injury. We're swinging the bat. I mean, that means we're still a ways away to me.
yeah. Speaking of nagging finger injuries, poor Nick Kurtz finally gets back off the IL and
Yep.
just gets hit in the hand, and now it's MRI time. We'll see what happens there for the A's.
Well, and his
Who,
other his buddy there, Bangaliers is out for the year, right? Torn
yeah,
meniscus. So
meniscus, Rooker's out, and Ben out. It's rough for the A's, but maybe they get to go to their new stadium next year. Is that happening yet, or we still gotta wait?
uh as in, yeah, when are they going to Vegas?
Yeah,
Good question. I was thinking that was 28, but I'd have to check.
A's to
Uh,
Vegas?
but
Question mark.
I honestly I feel like Sacktown's kind of fallen in love with them. So with their
Yeah,
10,000 person park there.
2028. That's exactly right. So we
It
gotta wait a
is
couple more
28.
years. Yep,
Yeah.
man, I'm excited
So
for that.
we're gonna have to be a little more patient there.
Uh, but another shout out. I would like to get in the Phillies a little bit, but
Okay.
some other shout outs that are interesting are the White Sox getting Luis Castillo. I feel like that just flew well under the radar. That was like a World War II paratrooper glider just flying under a foggy St. Mariglis nighttime across the English Channel, and
Yeah, I
it's a
think
kind of a
that's
big deal.
it is, but I think the question is, can Luis be what he's been the last several years for Seattle, or is he what he's been this season? You know, are these last few months an aberration where he's a 5 ERA fifth starter guy, or can Luis get back to being a number two, number three starter? And
Yeah,
the xERA is 4.83. He's getting hit hard. The Ks are down. His extension is second percentile, which isn't great because guys have more time to pick up on the ball. And so there are some red flags there. And I do think the White Sox probably overpaid a little bit, but I think Luis will give them reliable innings. I think worst case, he's as bad as he's been. Best case, he's back to that, let's say, high threes ERA where he has a 3.7 over his next 10 starts.
he was nasty for the Reds. I remember when he went to the M's, and I was shocked. I was like, wait, the Mariners don't spend money. Why are they getting Luis Castillo, especially when they have so much pitching? That's what they're known for. All this youthful,
Yep.
controlled pitching. But, you say that for a number of years, and nothing materializes, not even a World Series appearance, and you start wondering what's going to go on there. But you get a pretty good haul from this deal. You sell Luis Castillo as high as you possibly can, considering the aberration of a year. You get Sir Anthony Dominguez, Nolan Jones, and Boston Smith. So, I mean, Mariners get a little bit of relief help there. Sir Anthony, he's been around the league a bit. Phillies, he helped
Yeah.
them in 22, and now helped out the White Sox do some good stuff. So, see.
Sir Anthony's a live arm, and Boston Smith has smashed the ball at three levels inside of one season, which is definitely a green flag in my book. I mean,
Greens.
green flag. Even if you're not a heralded prospect, there's something about the adjustment of being able to come in. You don't know anyone on the club, you don't know the league at all. You come in and you just rake
Yeah.
three different levels. To me, that says that this guy's a competitor and he's a
Yep.
ball player and he can hit, right? There's something about that when a guy comes into pro ball and he's posting that 800 OPS anywhere he goes.
You're going to have to call him the Boston Herald. Other sneaky good pickups. Padres, they snagged Casey Mize, Gage Workman from the Tigers for Cash Mayfield and Jackson Wolf. So they're buyers, which means Mason Miller didn't move. And now they're contending. Maybe they can take out the Dodgers. Who
Well,
knows?
they didn't move Morihone either, right? The lefty out of the pen.
I don't think so. I
They
didn't see
they
any
yeah,
headlines.
yeah, they held on to him too, and he's a rental. So I thought they were gonna at least move more at home, but AJ wants to keep the chips in, man. Just keep going all in every year.
Yeah,
Hopefully it
dude.
works out for him at some point here, right? It's just
Preller's got more cojones to keep Morejon. He's going to keep Morejon at home, and
yeah.
Casey Mize needs to stay healthy for them to win that deal.
I like the Mize move. Let's talk about Luis Arise. So
Back to the Phillies. Phillies fans, get ready. We're talking about you.
so
So,
Phillies moved their number four guy, their number four prospect for a couple months of Arise. And Caleb Killian's in that deal too, right?
let's see. Yep. Yes.
Yeah. So walk me through that, Johnny. Is that worth trading one of your better prospects? Now, granted, the Philly system is really as two guys. It's pretty top heavy. But walk me through that. Do you like that move for Dombrowski?
Yeah. Is Dombrowski chasing a World Series right now? Because it feels like he's chasing a World Series right now.
Well, and they just had a big comeback. They were down 3-0 to the Nationals and won 6-3. Derek Hill, two out Granny.
Come on.
Or one
That's
out
sick.
Granny, but it
That's
was
sick.
nasty. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it was
Well,
nasty.
Harper's not getting younger. Neither is Schwarber or Turner. Neither
Yeah, they're
is
all mid-30s, man.
they're
They're
all
all
Gramps. They're all
mid-30s,
unk
yeah.
status, dude. And Wheeler's having
Yeah.
the most awesome comeback season, and Nola's being serviceable again. So he got Carlos Sanchez, who, though human at some points, is still an ace. I think they can go for it, and why not get a guy like Arise in there to get you on base with his 100th percentile, whiff and contact ability. That's just like, we talk about closers a lot of the time as nice trade pieces because
Mm-hmm.
it shortens the game by an inning. Well, another way to look at that is a Luis Arise type hitter. It it lengthens an inning. It gets you to that wrap around the lineup again, which is when you're watching a playoff game, you're really thinking about like 7, 8, and 9 coming up. You're like, please, one of you just don't get into a double play, somehow get on base, and you're starting to do the math to get to the next time through the heart of the order. Luis Arias really accelerates that wraparound in a nice parallel to how closers shorten the game in the playoffs.
I'm just trying to paint the picture here, right?
Paint it
But
up,
you
dude.
got let's say you got that guy who throws triple digits coming out of the bullpen in October, right? Luis is up. Now
Hmm.
this guy's just got adrenaline through the roof,
Yeah,
Maybe he's missing a little bit because he's got so much energy. Now
yeah.
Luis is gonna make you throw. He's gonna make you throw decent pitches. He'll chase a little bit, but you're probably not gonna strike him out, right?
Yeah.
And there's a pretty good chance that he's gonna get a hit and he's gonna take that adrenaline right out of you. Because if he flicks that thing into left field, man, it changes the entire energy
It
of your
so
appearance,
does. It's such an exhale. It's
right?
a
Now
collective
you're pitch,
sigh.
yeah, and you're pitching from the stretch, right? And a lot of these guys don't like to pitch from the stretch.
Thank you.
They're different guys, pitching from the stretch. So, you got to think about things like that, right? Luis really does change the energy by just getting that hit, six pitch AB, right? He adds that component to the game.
He's a cannibal Lecter, eating the adrenal glands right out of closers in tough playoff spots. That's what he does. He's an adrenaline yoinker. That's his role on the team. His nickname is the yoinker of the adrenaline. Yoinks it right out of them. I love that little picture you painted. That's nice. Thank you. I think
Yeah,
the Giants got a good haul, but man, it's always tough for me to watch some of these ball clubs like make a move, like the Blue Jays, right? We were talking about their offseason was incredible. Like the best offseason you could possibly have after falling short in the World Series. And now they're sellers at the deadline. And it's like Gossman's gone, Varsho's gone, And teams like the Giants, like they're always trying to scramble to get, not they can't swing the Aaron Judges or the Shohei Otanis, so they scramble from the scrap heap to get seconds, get the crumbs, and then they ship them off at the deadline again, and it's just like, what are we doing, Giants? Hey, Larry Ellison, if you can hear us, please buy really good players for the Giants and make them America's team in the West Coast. Larry Ellison, if you can hear us, please save us.
Well, on the Toronto Blue Jays topic,
Mm,
what's tough for them to me is they were right about Okamoto.
yeah, they hit on him big time.
Like they really did hit on Okamoto. And
Yep.
if I had told you that Okamoto was, going to hit 30 bombs, he might hit 230, but he'll be an okay defender. I mean, you just plug him in the middle of the lineup. You got Springer and Vlad Jr. I mean, wouldn't you imagine a playoff team in that scenario?
I'd say pump that into my veins.
Yeah, yeah. And here we are, right? So Kazuma has been the guy that they want him to be,
Yep.
largely.
Yep.
And here we are. And the Jays have just fallen flat. And that there's a few reasons for that. Number one reason for me is Vlad Jr. Where's the power?
Easily.
Where is that power? What
What?
happened to this guy?
It's odd because he's batting 262 and he has an OPS of 692. And the fact that the average is so high tells me it is not an absence of hitting and contact ability, but merely power. So something's going on there with the swing. I don't know what's going on. Last year was cool because he got the big contract and he stepped into it very well. He assumed the role, he assumed the crown, responded to the call. And here we are, and the power's gone. The power is out. What are we doing, Vlad? Do you have any hot takes on this? I feel like you've got a shrewd eye
I
for
feel
stats.
like I think we gotta reset that circuit breaker. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. What does that look like for Vlad Guerrera? What's his circuit breaker reset?
Man,
Dude, bat
oh
speed,
no.
93rd percent. Let's just do this real quick. Bat
Just
speed, 93rd percentile. K percentage, 90th percentile.
That's a good sign. Yeah.
XBA, 93rd percentile. X
Wait,
Woba,
wait.
70th percentile.
Pause. What's his XBA?
288.
Hmm.
So,
What's the X slug?
ooh, yikes.
Do you
50,
have that?
53 percentile, 407.
Ah,
Yeah,
not
average.
good. Not
Not
good.
good. Not good.
See, now here's the thing. Do I want a 288 hitter? Yes. Do I want Vlad to have a 400 slug with what I'm paying him and the position that he plays?
Yeah.
No. So when you're paying a first baseman superstar money, what do you expect, Johnny?
Not this. Barrel percentage is the biggest drop off, I think. That's the biggest thing
What's
I'm
he
paying
at?
attention to.
8%?
No, barrel's at 30. Oh, sorry, it's 6.8%.
6.8?
Guess
Ooh.
what it was in 25? 12.2.
12. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
My
yeah.
man, this is why we pay you the big bucks. Speaking of Vlad, because you deliver. You maintain the
Yeah.
bat speed and the contact ability, but you put up the bombs. I really don't know what his reset button is. Maybe we start with a thought experiment. If you were really good at your job and then you just stopped doing one aspect of it well, what would your reset be? What would you do?
Yeah, let me try and imagine being good at what I'm doing. I'm just kidding. Well, I think what Vlad might need is to go to Cancun, you know?
Whoa, okay. You're a Cancun guy, that's the reset button?
Maybe we just gotta go and I mean he is from the Dominican, well, kind of. His dad's from the Dominican, right? He kind of
Sure.
grew up in Canada, but so maybe you just gotta go to the Caribbean and hang out. You got your little kids hanging out on the beach. You build
Hmm,
sand castles with them, all that
okay.
good stuff. Maybe that's what you need. Maybe Vladito just needs to be building sand castles with his little kids, and that will be the reset. You know, just like
Hmm.
take a step back, man. Don't worry about whether Gossman is gonna throw a splitter or a fastball the next time you face him, right? Like, don't worry about it.
Just
Just think
build the sand
about the
castles.
sand castles, man. Right?
I think the sandcastles are going to actually spiritually depress him as he sees the futility, the ephemeral nature, the the inevitable wave, the cadence just chipping away.
The sandcastles are transitory.
All things must pass. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a good George Harrison album. So maybe
Yeah.
on that note, he needs to go into a tent in the desert and eat some plants or something.
Aaron Rodgers style, yeah.
Yeah, maybe he does the adrenal yoinker Luis Ariz move and just eats a human adrenal gland and starts hitting bombs again. But I don't
Who
know what
did
it
that?
is. That's just me doing a bit about Luis Ariz.
Oh, okay.
ruining the adrenaline of Major League Baseball closers. But that's we say it a lot. There is a cascading effect when a power hitter, the most fearsome hitter in the lineup, is down. No one is seeing good pitches, and you got to fend for yourself and have a good season on your own. Okamoto, good for you. Okamoto's numbers shine more because of Vlad not protecting him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 755 OPS. He's 2 for 3 today.
Right.
And you look at Springer. Springer's starting to get those numbers up, similar to like Manny in San Diego. But I mean, Springer had a rough start to the year. He was also banged up too. But I mean, Jesus Sanchez has been solid actually. But I mean, no one in the lineup right now has a higher OPS than Okamoto. Is he leading
Nope.
the team in OPS? I think so.
He is followed closely by Jesus Sanchez, proving that the Astros are kind of known for losing deals to James Click above the border.
So, what's up with the Astros not being able to touch 2026 Shane Bieber?
Yeah, I'm watching that same thing in real time, wondering the same thing in real time. Christian Javier is not having a horrid game. The strikeouts are not there. 3 earned runs, giving up weird strings of singles, but not like crazy hard contact, getting knocked around, not walking everybody he faces. So it's not like a
Right,
bad Javier game.
right.
And technically, we're still at quality start territory as far as this inning goes. But
Well,
Shane Bieber is just like 70 pitches only to get through 5, and he's just
yeah,
mowing us
but
down.
what's crazy though is if you look at the fastball to Walker, if you
Hmm.
look at where that is, that's
Hmm.
92 four-seamer middle. And Walker hit that 104 miles an hour, just blitzed it, but right at Miles Straw. I mean,
Yeah,
from what I could see on GameCast anyway. So I mean, he's left some pitches over the plate, but I don't know, man. It feels like if you pitch around Jordan, you're gonna be fine. That's how it feels right now with Houston.
absolutely. And there's some late inning magic that we've been getting into for this awesome winning streak where we're now atop the AL West in our rightful
Yeah.
place.
Oh,
But
Mariners have just been terrible, man.
I just think that there's a weird sting where if you don't have a lame duck GM, you
Hmm.
don't sell Arrighetti. You maybe make a subtler move, like you get maybe some relief help, or set yourself up for the offseason to make a bigger long-term move. But if you're not a lame duck GM, you don't force it and spend a controllable starting pitcher with amazing stuff that is from your farm system. You don't spend him to get a very mid bat with only 7 home runs. You just don't do that. But
Mm.
I worry that did more damage by meddling with the vibes of the clubhouse, which maybe we'll see that tonight. The streak ends tonight, and the vibes are different. We'll see.
It's kind of analogous. I mean, Dana didn't say anything, but like when a sports analyst has to say, "I'm the best sports analyst in the country," like if you
Yeah,
have to say it, then you're probably not what you're saying you are. It's like
correct.
it's like when you say, "I'm the king of this place." I mean, if you have to announce that, then you're probably not
It's
the
weakness.
actual
Totally.
king, right?
Right. Right.
And so by Dana making this overt move to get Varsho, do you think that he's giving a little bit of that of like I'm the king here? Are you
Absolutely.
picking up on that? Yeah.
That's what it is. You can tell it like the truth is very obvious. You cannot hide from capital T truth. It's worn. It's sort of like the portrait of Dorian Gray, but not hidden in an attic somewhere. The portrait is not taking the hits. What you portray in front of the camera is. So
Mm.
you cannot deceive truth, capital T. And when you get on the broadcast and you already start selling this idea with an enumeration of reasons for why this was a good deal, you've already lost. Because if it were a good deal, there would be excitement and buzz, and you would feel the rush as a fan. You'd be like, man, this is it. There's hope. You know,
Yeah.
an example is Verlander in 17 and Verlander in 23. I remember when the Stros went to get Justin in 23 from the Mets. Even though it was like Gramps mode in a mid Mets season for Verlander, you were just like, all right, let's go. You know, it's not the case here.
Yeah, you know what it is, which I think is what you're getting to here is,
Yeah,
yeah, so to make a trade and then to have to actively sell it, right?
that's right.
So Dana made the trade and then he's going around and he's making his rounds and he's selling this trade to everybody because it doesn't sell itself.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at the Yankees getting Luis Garcia Jr., that's hype. That's a short.
Do you feel like that sells itself?
Yeah, dude. Luis
Yeah.
Garcia. Are you serious? Let's do
He's
it.
leading the National League in slugging, man.
Dude, and they're the hitting ball club. That's like the most exciting deal of the day.
By the way, Ryan McMahon and Cabby just went back to back, and that bottom of the lineup, pitchers have just been slicing through that 7 and 9 right there, and they just went back to back on Ryan Stanek. I mean, Stanek's not exactly a Mason Miller, but
No, he's not. No, he's definitely not. He's an Arkansas boy with long hair that used to like his calling card used to be I throw heat, and then everybody else started throwing heat, and he lost his calling
Yeah.
card.
Well, so Cabby, right? Stanek threw him 96 down the middle.
So he's throwing 96 now. That's his first problem. Yeah. You know,
Well, yeah, he only has 2 pitches, right? I believe.
how
Or
much
does he have 3?
controllability does Garcia have, Luis Garcia Jr.?
Through next year.
So he's a rental?
No.
Oh,
So
through next year. I
through
see.
next year.
I
Yeah.
always struggle with like next weekend. Does that mean the fall one coming up?
Well,
You know.
yeah, and so 2027 free agent means rental versus like 2028 free agent means you have them for next season and then
I
they're
got
hitting the
you.
mark. So it's a little confusing, but yeah, so they have a
It's an
year
IQ. It's an
plus.
IQ gate, Aiden. You can say it, and I failed. Okay, now I feel horrible. What did the Yankees give up for that? Because that might be actually the steal of the deadline.
They did not give up much. So I actually thought that they were gonna give up Elmer or Carlos or at least like Ben Hess, like one of those
Hmm.
top 10 or guys, but they didn't give up anything like that. I don't remember all 4 names, but they did not give up a blue chip prospect for him.
Well, you just got yourself a controllable 23 home run hitter, 282 batting average, 871 OPS in Luis Garcia Jr. A youthful guy. You are definitely going to re-sign him. That is so sick. Good for them. If you're a Yankees fan out there, you've got to feel pretty good right now.
Oh, I mean, I think you feel great about that trade. They gave up a little more for Elio Ramos. I mean, I like Henry Lane, so and then Caden Kent, Jeff Kent's son, was also in
Mm.
that deal. But Elio Ramos is a solid hitter. The defense is questionable, but
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean the lineup got a lot better here with Elio and then Luis.
Wow. Ramos's numbers are very odd, or indicating what you're saying on Savant. His barrel percentage and hard hit, exit velo, X slug, XBA, all rock solid.
Yep.
Bat speed squared up, chase, whiff, K, walk, bad. So that is it. He's the proverbial, you know, the guy that can hit bombs and not do anything else.
He
Or
doesn't
something.
he doesn't really walk, but he can spray the ball all over the field.
Yep.
I mean, Luis Garcia is a better hitter than Ramos, but Elio's also young. I mean, I think he's 26, 27. He's pretty young. So, yeah, we'll see, man, how it goes here. I mean, the Bellinger injury was tough timing for New York, and Of course, you got Aaron and Giancarlo hurt, and then Jazz has been bad. Dominguez is not the player he was supposed to be.
Sad.
And Spencer Jones he's been okay. Ben Rice is a stud.
Yes.
Trent Grisham not the same after last season, which we kind
Right.
of figured. Austin Wells has been terrible. Hitting 168. So I mean that's like Cal. Those
I
are
think
Cal numbers.
I think we'll wrap here pretty soon. But just one thing before we head out the door, I would like to shout out the Dodgers. You might have single-handedly changed the way the game of baseball is played, and we may be seeing a ninth inning in the World Series where Tarik Skubal's coming to do one out, Roki's coming for another out, and then Yamamoto for a final out.
So
And that'll be interesting.
is Tarik a Jedi move or a Sith move? Trading for Tarik.
Oh, as we said last time, the Jedi are actually the evil ones, and the Dodgers are the Sith, and
So
we're living in their universe.
the counter argument there, right, is if you really read the situation with the Jedi by what the third prequel, the subtext is that the Jedi are kind of fascist, right? That's kind of the idea. I mean, would that be accurate to say?
I'd say so. At worst, they're fascists. At best, they're, or perhaps invert this. At worst, they're hypocrites that think they're not fascists, that are so blinded by their own arrogance. Quoting Anakin here, and so they just try to gaslight him for like having feelings and stuff.
Do you agree with Anakin? Like, do you think they did Anakin dirty? Like, do you think they should have just listened to him?
Absolutely, I think so. I think you know, this is a tough question, right? But I think trying so hard to live without attachment becomes performative in a sense. Asceticism for the sake of itself becomes another way I try to manage and control chaos and uncertainty and fear. And sometimes true surrender means accepting humbly the fact that you have to participate in the medium. You can't just be so aloof and above it all. And when one deludes themselves that they can, they try to see themselves like gods, becoming the very villain that they accuse others of being, that the Sith are so bent on power. So that's my take on that. And I would love to get into this more some other time, but I can hear the music starting to play. There it goes. So I'll leave everybody hanging there. We're going to get into more early Star Wars prequel philosophy very soon. Political philosophy coming as well. We do a lot of stuff here at Painting Corners. Come hang out with us. There's a chance maybe making an appearance tomorrow night at Dyken Park to cover the Jays and Stros. But thanks for coming to hang out with me and Aiden, talking all the deadline deals, and we'll see what happens this World Series. Y'all stay tuned.
Baseball for the royal
Peace.
fan.